Hey everyone, I'm Nitrotech. Today we're going to be playing Mechanica. This was just released last week on Steam. As you can see, we're still in early access, but it's got a lot of potential here. We're going to jump into this, start a new game, and just kind of take a walk around. And there's nothing else other than this one map so far, and only survival. We got lots of plans for this, and as long as they stick with it, this game can go places. So we're going to create a new game. And give it just a minute to load everything in, and we'll get started and see if we can't start defending off this robot apocalypse. There we go. Alright, so you get this little handbook. You can use your arrow keys if you're on a computer. Just kind of go through it. But we're going to go through some of the basics. First thing to do, pick up this little programming tool. We're going to hit tab, open up our inventory. This is also your crafting menu. We'll get a little bit more into that. We're going to drag that right down there. You can right click to go back and forth. Make it a little bit easier. I didn't want that in the number 1 slot though. You see here, we've got all these things now. When we hold this, it'll show us everything we can program. What we're going to do is we're going to just start picking stuff up. Grab this button. We're going to grab the door, the light. Make sure there's nothing else in here. Nothing there. Now you got this whole big world here. See what looks like a gas station there. Some plants. These are blueberries. I don't think there was anything else over here. Over here we got some other stuff. We got some cans of fuel. We're just going to pick these up. This is a furnace. We're going to hold down the right mouse button. That picks up your machinery. And if you haven't used any of the power out of the batteries, it'll drop those. You can pick them up too. We got a pickaxe here we can pick up. There's some more stuff over here. Potatoes for fuel, for food, sorry. And then over here near this tree is an axe. Can't chop these down, but we're going to get into that a lot later. We don't need that quite yet. Some more blueberries. Here's some wheat. We're going to grab all that. We're going to right click, pick up the plant box. Some more blueberries over there. At this point, there's only, I'm going to crafting. It's not crafting, it's cooking. There's a whole new menu for that. There's only 3 sources of food right now. There's your potatoes, your blueberries, and then you can make a blueberry muffin. So we're going to go in here. If you want to pick up these boxes, you can. I'm just going to grab fuel, pick up the door, pick up the bat. That's going to be our weapon right there. I'm going to throw that down here. There we go. We're going to pick up these lights, pick up this clock, we're going to pick up a chair, pick up the oil extractor, pick up these barrels. I'm just going to grab everything. This is the cooking menu. You grab this stuff here. You open up the cooking menu, see you can bake a potato, you can make a loaf of bread, or you can make, if you have blueberries and wheat, you can make a blueberry muffin, which is the best thing in the game right now. Like I said, they've got lots of plans for this. We're just going to pick that up though. Got everything out of there. And we'll leave the picture frame. Come around here. More blueberries. This is a glass refinery. Grab that too. Right over here is a water pump. It'll be our main source of water, so we are going to need that. This tower here, each one of these has a little power box on it with some batteries. We're going to need those. There's some more wheat here. Just going to start heading this direction. Here's just some iron. There's some more buildings over here. We're going to raid that and kind of set up shop over there. Looks like some more small blueberries over there. There's some wheat. I almost forgot about those. We'll make another trip and grab some of that stuff. Well, we're going to get into a little bit of the programming today. Kind of the basics of setting up miners, furnaces, just kind of getting started. There's all kinds of nice little points of interest you can go to and pick up some loot, and nothing in there. And you see we have iron here. Right over here some copper. We're going to need both of those. And right back there is some water. That might be oil and the other one's water. We got a refinery here. I'm just going to pick that up. We don't need it yet. See that tripwire? Turns on the light. And that's some stuff you can program. You link objects together and just take that off, pick that up, and grab all these. There's a little light, you can program that too. I'm just going to pick it up. Yeah, that's oil. So we'll need that too to make a bunch of fuel. This is lithium for batteries. Now where did that water spot go? We're going to set up shop right here. Nice little shaded area. Kind of in the corner of the map. Got my water right there. That's more oil. Water's a little difficult to find. It's just kind of like a dark spot. That's not it. There it is. I knew it was around here somewhere. So this is our water. So we're going to go ahead and throw all that back up there. Get our water pump. You can press Q and E to rotate, or if you hold down the Alt and scroll your mouse wheel, it turns it 45 degrees. And we're just going to throw that on there. We'll give it one battery and turn it on. And you see it's got a little progress bar right here. That'll take it a while to get done, but we need to get that going because it's a desert. We're going to need water. Next we're going to get our, where is our auto miner? There's the furnace, auto miner, and that'll work for now. So I'm going to set this up. We're going to set it this way. You got to have this part on the left side here on the relatively close to the ore. We're going to turn that. We're going to face it kind of towards our base over there so that we don't have to travel as far. Right there should be good. We're going to need a battery for that. We're not going to turn it on yet because we're going to do a little bit of programming to start this off. We got, this is our furnace. You see if you get it close, it'll snap in. We're going to do that, and then we're going to set up storage box right there. Well, that needs fuel, so we'll give it a little bit of fuel. So we're going to leave that for 1 second. We're going to get into some programming. We're going to get the spotlights, the lamp, and then our regular, actually we'll put that back. Where's that spotlight? That's standing spotlight. Rotate that. We're going to kind of have that facing out that way. Have that one kind of facing that way. Get ourselves a floor lamp right there. And the spotlight, we're going to throw it right there. Got a switch here, we're going to put it right here. So this is how the programming works. You see here, when we highlight that, you'll see the little display on your tool. It says press E to program, click and drag to link. So this switch, we want to link it to all the lights. You just click, hold, point to it. Now this can go through walls, things like that. If we come over here, if you're standing close enough, you can link it to objects through walls. Grab this one here. Now we're going to come over and program this switch. Now in the programming, you need to have a trigger, and those are done through events and functions. So on this event, when we turn on the switch, we're going to invoke the event or trigger the event. What we want to do with that is on these linked objects on the spotlight. When this turn the switch on, we want to turn that on. On the floor lamp, turn that on. First standing spotlight, and the second standing spotlight. You'll see that has a 1 on it. Now these are put in here in order that you link them. So when you start getting confused and looking for, something you recently linked, you can just look at the bottom. That's going to be the most recent one you linked. So all you got to do is draw a little line here, click and drag, so that when we trigger, execute this command here. We're going to step out, go to there, and see all the lights turned on. Actually, now we'll leave that. So now we want to turn it off on, if we ever want to turn it off, just do the same thing. Go here to an event, on switch off. I'm just going to say turn off the spotlight, floor lamp, and so on and so forth. Then link them up. Now you can do now, you turn it off, all the lights turn off, all the lights turn on. Now if you want to get a little bit more complicated, we have this little digital clock here. We're going to come grab one of these. Throw that down in our toolbar, set it right here, grab our clock, let's rotate it a little bit. I think that's the front, yep. And we're going to link that to there. Now we can go, whoops, wrong button. Go in there and say, alright, instead of going on switch on, you can come in here, linked objects, digital clock. We're going to get an event. And then we're also going to say, we're going to drag this over here. This is called a Boolean, or a variable. This will always give a true or false value. And what we need to do is we're going to tell this every time an hour passes, move these over, we need to check, is it nighttime? To do that, we right click any open space, come down here, common functions, and then we want execution control, and we want a branch. This is your if branch. So every time an hour passes, trigger this and get whatever condition this is. Is it nighttime or is it not? So if it's true, turn on all of these. If it's not nighttime, turn everything off. What that does is every time an hour passes on the clock, oh, that doesn't work anymore, it's going to run a check and say, is it nighttime? If it comes back true, it's going to make sure all the lights are on. If it comes back false, it's going to turn them off. Gives a little bit more of a, kind of like a daylight sensor, if you ever played Minecraft or something. So from there, now that we got kind of a base set up, let's get some more resources going. We're going to need some food. We're going to grab plant box, some wheat seeds. We're going to set this right, we'll set it back here. Grab some seeds, and we're going to throw a bunch of these in here, as many as we can. Now, let's get into some crafting. Oh, we can throw these down real quick, too. We'll just throw the glass refinery. Yeah, we'll throw it right back here. That blue is your exit, or your drop off where it kicks everything out. We'll throw it right there. Throw a battery in it, turn it on. Alright, so let's craft. So you have different categories here. Components, you need these to craft everything else. Your decorations, most of these require batteries, glass, copper wire, some kind of mix. You get down here into this is where you need your wood. Some more decoration, nothing else really needs wood. But what we want to get into, we're going to need another storage box. We're going to need another auto miner, which that needs a circuit board. For that you need oil and plastic. From plastic, to get plastic you need oil. So we do have this handy dandy inventory oil extractor. Let's throw this in here. This is where we're going to be cooking. Come over here to the oil. See there, it's got a little display too. Say hold left click to extract. That easy. But you do need empty barrels in your inventory. We're going to grab a few of these real quick. I'm going to go with 4. Alright, go here to crafting, plastic. We're going to make 2 of those. Now we need steel ingots and screws. And we don't have any steel ingots because we never turned that on over there. We should have a battery. Actually, let's do a little bit of programming here. See if we can't make this a little bit easier. What we're going to do is link that together. And let's see, functions. I don't have decoration inventory. Right there, that's what I needed. A little light. We're going to throw a light right here. We're going to link that also. So now we're going to say, does this have power? Again, a variable, a boolean. And then the furnace, does it have fuel? So it's going to check, do we have batteries? Do we have fuel? So of course, we're going to throw in the second one here, logic. We're going to add in an and. I'll run those here. Nope, I hear robots. They're flashing red and they're going to come after us. So we need a little bit of running room. 3 of them. These guys aren't friendly at all. There is another little robot running around. There we go. Steel ingot. These guys will drop either 1 or 2 resources for you. Those 2 are just 1. We'll come check this one. That one dropped 2. 1 copper, 1 steel. So we got a couple steel out of it. Got 1 more water. We need that here very shortly. Alright, back to this. We got the light in here. Alright, so if both values are true, nope, we needed a button. And this is really just to kind of start everything off. So the button. We're going to go with on button push. So that starts that, but we're also going to add in on the light. We're going to toggle the light. And we're going to say, so when we push the button, toggle the lights, so either turn it on or off. If we have both fuel and batteries, we're going to tell the light to set your color to green. I'll put that right there. We need to put this up here. Just to make sure that this thing is really, really bright, so we can see it far away. Because what we're doing is we're going to set this up so if we run out of fuel or batteries, this light will turn red, be nice and bright, and we can see that, hey, we need to come take care of this. So that means that we need to, what I did there, I right clicked that and it gives you duplicate or delete. So if one of those is false, set that to red, and then we want to turn off both of them, not the light. Turn off the furnace. We want to turn off the miner. Now, if everything's good, what we're going to do is we're going to add in another function here called wait. This does is this kind of gives a little delay in the program. We're just going to say wait 5 seconds. When you're done, get this a little bit more over here. When you're done, check it again. So now this will, as long as everything's good, we'll be on a constant loop watching our fuel and our batteries. So now we turn it on. Oh, we did forget one little thing. Let's go ahead and turn that back off, kind of reset it. We forgot to say on button push. And we're gonna, let's make this a little bit more complicated. We're gonna throw in another branch. And we're gonna check, not linked objects, variables. Is the furnace already on? And what that's gonna do, we're gonna say when we push the button, is the furnace on? If it is, then that means that we want to turn everything off. We gotta duplicate these. So we're gonna come up here, turn that off, and our light. Turn it off. So that means when we come over, we're running, we hit that button, or if the miner's running, we want everything to be turned off. Now, if that's already off and we hit the button, then we want to turn everything on. So let's move this up a little bit more. See how complicated this gets real quick? So we already got that toggle light. So we actually don't even need that one. We're already toggling the light each time we hit that button. We're going to need turn on the miner and turn on the furnace. There we go. So a little complicated, but once you start playing around with it, it becomes fairly simple and easy. So there you go. Everything kicks on. Now a little bit later, once we start getting materials, there's another bot, we can program this so that because the furnace, once it gets 2 ores, you see it disappeared, and now it's going to kind of poop out an ingot. So we can program this later so that every 2, it'll turn this on. Once it kicks it out, it'll turn it back off, so that we're not wasting fuel with it just sitting there. But that needs some more stuff. Now this guy's yellow. He's not going to hurt us yet, as long as we kind of keep our distance. So we have 1 copper. Set that over here. 3 steel. We wanted to try and craft another auto miner. Storage manufacturing. We needed a circuit board. Would you quit? Quit being a pest. Of course you're going to come over here. Now you can see from far away, you can tell, hey, everything's working okay. So just a couple little things. I mean, didn't cost any resources, just a little bit of time. Speaking of time, I think that's going to wrap it up for this video. Kill this guy. Another steel ingot. Oh, we were going to make a circuit board. We got the steel ingots. We need 1 screw. Boom. Circuit board. Now we got the 1 circuit board for the auto miner. We need a small screen, which I think needs another circuit board. That's under this one. Nope. 1 screw, 2 copper wire, and we only have 1 copper ingot. So we only have 1 copper wire, which I just crafted. But yeah, that's going to do it for this video. We'll pick up where we left off next time, and maybe I'll do a little bit off camera, get the copper going so we can start getting some more resources. Start building up some defenses here, because as you've seen, this is the first day and we already had 3 bots attack us, and there's all kinds of fun defenses here. Rake trap, just like, you know, in the cartoons. I even put it here in the description. I got a little laser trip wire, and something comes across that and little spikes pop up. Knife thrower, laser sword, flamethrower's good, sentry. I don't like the sentries that much. They're good, but you need multiple of them. You get 1 sentry on 1 bot, and it'll probably get 1, maybe 2 shots in, and then that bot's already starting to tear it up. EMP bombs, those are good, but those only temporarily disable them. Tesla coils are where it's at, but they go through batteries really quick, so you got to be able to set up a some kind of timer so that they don't tripwires timers so that they shut off after a few seconds. We do need another planer box too. That's storage. Yeah. 6 steel ingots, 3 screws. Yeah, we just need this thing to run some, get some more copper going, and we'll get it taken care of. But thanks for watching, everyone. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want. Keep following this series or myself, and kind of an introduction to programming here and kind of getting set up on day one. But thanks again, everyone, and we'll see you.